Bon voyage!
Following in the footsteps of games like Silent Hill and Alan Wake, In Sound Mind delves into the psychological realm, upending the foundations of the world around you with environments that can swivel out of comprehension at a moment's notice. While it has its rough spots, the spaces that it presents and the narrative that unfolds both wrap around you in layers that are fascinating to peel away. From the start, you're left trying to understand the very nature of what's happening. After a quick view of a flooded city, you find yourself in the basement of a rundown apartment building. It's up to you to follow the clues and figure out what to do next, but every so often, you'll notice something that wasn't there before, or catch a glimpse of a figure moving out of the corner of your eye. Before long, you reach your office and learn that you're a therapist named Desmond Wales, and through further exploration, you begin to find cassette tapes of your past sessions. Each tape transports you from the apartment building to another location, associated with an incident involving one of your patients. Only by solving the puzzles and resolving the issues at the heart of each world can you gain the tools you need to move on. The individual chapters not only reveal the tragic backstories of each of these characters, but also illuminate more and more of Desmond's personality as well. If you listen to all the tapes and read all the documents along the way, the mysteries of how the shattered pieces fit together start to make sense. But there's still room for interpretation, including an ever-present questioning of reality. Despite the dark subject matter, though, there's a clear sense of humor that shines through when you least expect it, such as when an achievement pops up the first time you pet your cat. Like the apartment building at its hub, the places each cassette takes you are grounded in otherwise mundane settings, but that doesn't stop them from being utterly creepy. Walking through an abandoned department store is haunting as battered signs dangle from the ceiling, shopping carts move on their own, and mannequins pop out of nowhere when your back is turned. The world itself is a source of tension and uncertainty. Turning one way and turning back may cause the paintings in a room to change. Rooms and hallways shift layouts, and at times, you find yourself in places that are entirely surreal. Each world is also inhabited by a ghost-like manifestation that serves as its boss, but rather than simply facing them at the end of a level, their presence is felt throughout, playing a large role in defining that area and how you progress. The Watcher can't stand for you to look at her, rushing at you when she sees you staring, and retreating when you lure her into a mirror. While the Shade creeps along in a pool of darkness, dragging objects into the ground wherever it goes, diminishing your ability to find safety by getting to higher ground. And these first two feel tame compared to what you face later on. The other elements that make each place feel distinct are the tools that you find in them. A broken shard from one of the mirrors in the department store can be used to get the Watcher off your back if there isn't a full mirror nearby. However, it can also be used to cut through police tape, smash boards blocking hallways, and to see hidden messages and objects. Likewise, several of the other tools you find also have multiple uses, and not only are they used extensively in the chapters you find them in, but they become a permanent part of your skill set, remaining valuable in future levels, and helping you reach previously inaccessible areas of the apartment complex with some pretty cool rewards. Even though there's a base of puzzles that involve finding the right keys or swapping fuses and electrical sockets, mechanics tied to each new tool keep exploration feeling fresh. Speaking of exploration, locations are wide enough to feel like you have room to wander, while generally pointing you in the right direction, and each major area is bigger than the last. Maps are posted on signs throughout each level to help you get your bearings, but you aren't given the luxury of taking them with you, amplifying the sense of isolation as you search dark corners. There's a fair bit of platforming in the level design as well, often encouraging or requiring you to get up on pipes or other narrow walkways. If you poke around in out-of-the-way areas, you'll frequently be rewarded with ammo, health, and pills that serve as upgrades to attributes like speed and stamina. Unfortunately, aside from watching the numbers grow, there isn't a strong sense of improvement from these upgrades. Yet they still provide a solid incentive to explore, and whether you're uncovering a hidden passage or cracking the combo to a safe, the process of working out these situations is one of the most rewarding aspects of the game.
sneak past it. I know I can.
While the moments while you're being hunted by bosses can be tense and thrilling, encounters with standard ink blot patrols are lackluster in multiple ways. There's a stealth element involved, allowing you to get in easier headshots if you stay out of sight, but doing so is easier said than done. Even when you think you're far enough away, as soon as you see an enemy's face, it'll likely spot you as well, and come dashing straight for you. At the same time, shooting feels simple and stiff, so even when you manage to snag a kill, it's a relief, but it doesn't leave much impact. When you do alert an enemy, it's quite easy to predict their movements and bait them near explosive containers that are easier to target. In its own way, the awkwardness of these moments still manages to create a sense of panic as you try to fire a shot through the ink blot's frantic head bobs, but as you search thoroughly, it's easy to stay well stocked on ammo, health, and flashlight batteries. The visuals aren't really a strong point. While there are a few spectacles here and there, overall things look dated and plain. Textures are a bit muddy, there are distracting artifacts that appear in light shafts at certain angles, and the performance can be a bit rough here and there, particularly during autosaves. The voice acting is also hit or miss. Your mystery caller has the air of a villain from a cheap horror movie, although he can grow on you after a while.
There he is. Long have I waited for this moment, to watch as you scramble for your last breath, as you try to make sense of your reality and the gravity it carries, pulling you down.
At the same time, Desmond's character has a deadpan way of stating the obvious. Some of what he says is essentially mechanical instruction for the player, but even in moments of danger, there are times when he feels emotionless and unfazed.
You've got to be kidding me.
One bright point, though, comes with the soundtrack, as there are several songs related to events in the story that are a joy to stop and listen to. In Sound Mind definitely has some limitations in terms of its presentation and combat, but these elements don't take too much away from what it does well. It's more of a spooky mystery than a full horror title, and with its hub world, clever secrets, and evolving set of tools, it continually presents new opportunities to interact with its twisted environments. If you like games that try to screw with your head, it's worth booking a session with Dr. Wales.
Having fun.
Final score, 7.5 out of 10. Easy Allies reviews are made possible by generous viewers just like you. If you like what you see, check out patreon.com/easyallies to help us make more. For just $1 a month, you can gain access to weekly updates, spoiler discussions, and exclusive shows.